See, I can record it.
Hello. I'd like to start off with a quote from former Attorney General Janet Reno. She said, "I have inquired for most of my adult life about studies that might show that the death penalty is a deterrent. And I have yet to see any research that would substantiate this point." She said this in 2000. Former LAPD Police Chief William Williams said, "I'm not convinced that the death penalty in and of itself is a deterrent of crime, because most people do not think about the death penalty before they commit a violent or capital crime." And I do not believe that we should have the death penalty any longer, because it's unconstitutional, it's immoral, it's a financial burden on society, and it's not a deterrent of crime. It is unconstitutional according to the 8th Amendment, which states that the Constitution protects us against cruel and unusual punishment. The 14th Amendment states that no law should be imposed that deprives people of life, liberty, or property. The the death penalty was ruled unconstitutional from 1972 to 1976, based mostly on Furman versus Georgia. The Supreme Court dictated that it was unconstitutional based on the 8th Amendment because it was cruel and unusual punishment. The death penalty has been used pretty much since 1100 BC for anything from shoplifting to stealing, murder, defecting from a certain religion. Since World War II, a lot of countries have drastically abolished the death penalty. 96 countries, according to the Amnesty International in 2011. ACLU.org states that since 1973, 138 people have been released from death row in 26 different states based on innocence, being able to prove that they're innocent. At least one person is exonerated for every 10 person that's found that is executed. So maybe some of those people that were executed were innocent after all. Death penalty is a financial burden on American citizens. According to deathpenaltyinfo.org, California spent $114 million per year beyond the cost of keeping someone locked up in jail for the rest of their life. $114 million beyond that, just to execute them. Each execution cost the Californians $250 million. In Texas, the death penalty case can cost an average of $2.3 million, which is 3 times what it would cost to imprison someone for 40 years in a maximum security prison. So you can see that there's a huge financial burden on taxpayers just to incarcerate people, just to carry out the death penalty versus just keeping someone in prison for life. Thirdly, the death penalty is not a deterrent from crime. According to Professor Michael Radlett, who was a University of Colorado professor, in the Journal of Criminal Law and Criminology, he states that 88% of criminologists do not believe that the death penalty acts as a deterrent. Similarly, 87% of criminologists do not believe that there would be any significant change if the death penalty was abolished. So statistically, the death murders would stay the same. Canada dropped abolished the death penalty in 1976 and had a 27% decline in murder rates. A New York Times survey states that have the death penalty have a 48 to 101% higher death of murder rate versus states that do not have it. So there's a clear discrepancy between the death penalty and states that have it and don't have it versus the crimes that happen. I do not believe that the death penalty is needed. I believe it is unconstitutional, immoral, It is a financial drain on our society, and it's not a joke crime. Thank you very much.